Hello and welcome, friends. I hope y'all are ready to fight.
I literally just realized just this moment I never looked at the document for today.
I would recommend doing that,
Just
but
now.
while you're doing
Just now.
that, let's get a little vibe check going. How are we doing? How's everyone doing? Anyone who might be watching, feel free to share.
Yeah, I mean, when I go in like this, it gets like the real reactions, and it's more entertaining that way. That's what I'm going.
Sure. Oh, Oliver sighting.
Oh, he bathed.
He bathed, indeed.
Oh, yes, there are things to click on.
Wonderful. But you doing all right?
Oh yeah, things are chaos. But I'm saving
Anything you'd
that.
like to talk about?
I'm saving a lot of it for the worsening.
Okay, noted.
Because I'm a much worse person this week.
Yeah, a large portion of my how I'm doing also pertains to the worsening, so I'm going to save it as well. But let's just say it's going pretty. The vibes are pretty good.
Nice. I see you've replaced one present with another like gift bag back there.
Yeah, this is one of the things I got for
Good thing
my
now.
birthday. I got the stereotypical cat clock,
Oh yeah, the classic.
which I have yet to hang up. But yeah, that was one of my birthday presents. Shout out to my mom.
Nice.
So I guess that's part of my vibe check. My birthday was lovely. We went out for sushi, which is why we did not have the stream on Thursday, but sushi was delicious.
That's usually my birthday tradition is sushi.
Hmm?
That's my birthday tradition is getting sushi.
As it should be. And we had a birthday drunk and disorderly for me over the weekend, which was also very fun.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I was sober and
orderly, but someone probably should have been.
Which it's very weird because it's the only drunk and disorderly I've not been drunk for. So to be, on the sober side of it was very strange.
Love that for you. I hope it was strange in an entertaining way.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
I'm so convincing all the time.
So the first thing I have for us to talk about is a thought that occurred to me in the shower. We've all heard of Nepo babies, many such cases in Hollywood. Is there such thing as a Nepo parent?
I think so.
Someone who uses their child's fame to keep themselves relevant.
You know what I'm looking up right now?
Do I?
The word nepotism.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The practice
I can definitely think of a Hollywood, I guess Hollywood Nepo parent.
Yeah, the practice among those with power or influence of favoring relatives, friends, or associates, especially by giving them jobs. So it's relatives, it's not like necessarily just your kid.
Yeah.
Which it's interesting because I feel like I only ever hear it applied to family, but this definition says it can be like friends and associates too.
I mean, I guess so. Or is that not more cronyism if it's your friends?
Favoritism.
That too.
That's what Merriam-Webster has said to me.
All right.
I mean, it didn't say it to me specifically, nor did it speak, but you know what I mean.
I know what you mean. The first thing that pops into mind when I think Nepo parent is Billy Ray Cyrus. Because he hasn't been relevant outside of being Miley Cyrus's dad for a long-ass time.
But he's still a celebrity.
I mean, it's not like, yeah.
Because I feel like better examples would be people who were not famous at all, but, their kids got famous and then they just kind of like horned in on it.
Because what's his face? Tom Holland's dad thinks he's real funny on Twitter.
Yep.
So there's that.
What about like Nepo siblings? Because it seems like there's too many siblings in the Hollywood industry for it to be coincidental.
I feel like that's gotta be. I mean, there are
clearly some Hemsworths are better than other Hemsworths.
I would agree. I don't think the Skarsgårds are definitely Nepo babies, but the whole they're all good. They're like good examples of a Nepo baby because they can actually fucking act.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
not
I mean that one for sure, but
inherently terrible. There's fucking Maya Hawke.
yeah. But the reason I bring up the Hemsworth brothers is because I think Chris Hemsworth is really good. Like he does drama, but he's really freaking funny too. He should do way more comedy.
Mm-hmm.
But Liam Hemsworth, why?
I don't really care.
Yeah, I don't get it. So,
yeah, lots of examples of like stage parents being given in chat here, and I think that is definitely
professional athletes,
a Nepo parent type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Or that's what I would say an example of a Nepo parent is.
Yeah, I can't even remember the third Hemsworth's name at the moment.
I don't either.
I can see him in my head. I just don't remember his name.
Oh, I can't even see him in my head.
I mean, yeah, he's barely a thing. But again, like, would we know who Liam Hemsworth or this other guy even were without Chris Hemsworth? Probably not.
Perhaps not.
Riding on that fame.
No,
Luke Hemsworth, that's right.
Oh, sure, whatever.
That's gonna bother me.
Clearly, we can all see how much I care.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's why it always, like, it's one of those things that stuck out to me, because it's like, you cannot act. Why are you here? Hemsworth. Got it.
Sometimes it do be like that.
Mm-hmm.
Although I gotta say,
I feel like there's a lot of siblings like that.
Since we're talking about it, who are some other valid Nepo babies? I think the god tier example of a valid Nepo baby is Liza Minnelli.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there certainly are a lot. You can't just like point to somebody and be like, oh, their parents are famous, so that's why they're famous. Like, they would have been, Jack Quaid.
Yeah, Jack Quaid.
Hard agree, Chris. Yeah, and it's like, who cares? I don't know if I'm going to agree on Chet Hanks.
Yeah.
He seems like a nice guy, but yeah.
I once again bring up the Skarsgårds as valid Nepo babies.
Yeah.
Particularly Bill Skarsgård.
Yeah, and there are some people where it's like you find out that their parents are famous later on, and you're like, wait, what?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, can we count our patron saint in this category?
Oh, 100%. He's a Nepo baby, but he is a totally valid Nepo baby.
He even changed his name, so he wasn't like, riding on the tail feathers.
Coattails? There we go.
There's a reason I said tail feathers, is because of the show I've been watching. Anyway.
Noted.
Yeah, I feel like there are a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
But I think what happens a lot of the time when there's somebody who is actually genuinely good, it never occurs to me that they have a famous parent. And then it turns out they do.
Mm.
And I'm like shocked. So I feel like there's so many that I'm just completely unaware of because I don't pay attention to the personal lives of celebrities.
That's fair.
But yeah, I know there's a lot.
But I think the conclusion to this question is, one, Nepo parents definitely exist, and we have come up with a couple of them.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think a lot of reality shows are that way too.
Absolutely.
Yep.
All right. The next thing I have is something that I stole from the Bird app, which I believe our wonderful producer is going to pull up for us. This was a tweet by, where is the username? Come on. I'm also pulling it up on my phone because there were responses that I want to talk. There are responses to this tweet that I want to talk about as well.
I didn't even look at the responses.
But one moment here.
Because I looked at it so early today. And
you did. You did such a good job of preparing. I'm so proud.
I really thought about it. Here we go. Lil Sketchy 2.
A little sketchy too. Okay, so for audio only listeners, the tweet reads thusly: you can have one pill, choose now, and you are given the option of 9 different various colored pills, and they all give you a different ability, but they're very weird abilities. The first one, you can communicate with oysters. Second one, free gravel for life. 3, you can teleport up to 7 inches away. 4, you could grow a second nose. 5, you can control any toaster with your mind. 6, you can look 10 hours younger. 7, you get the ability to see instantly inside any empty container. 8, you can speak the extinct language Khitan. And 9, you can run as fast as Albert Einstein. So these are the potential abilities that you have to choose from. Which one are you going with and why?
I think it has to be number 5.
Can control any toaster with your mind. Explain.
Yes. I mean, honestly, it's the only one that seems like it has really any use to it. Because, I eat toast semi-frequently.
Yeah.
So it'd be nice to be able to, like, control it from a distance while I'm at the stove, like making eggs or something.
This is true.
I mean, when it says control, does that mean only toaster functions, or can you make it like dance, like on Ghostbusters 2?
That's a very good question. It is not specified. You know what? Let's say yes. You can control a toaster beyond just its intended use with your mind.
Yeah, and I think that makes it more fun. I mean, the other one I was sort of thinking about was teleporting 7 inches away.
Okay, some genius on the Bird app. This is a quote tweet from @Frogs4Girls. They pointed out that being able to teleport 7 inches negates most fences, walls, and doors.
7 inches?
Mm-hmm.
No, it has to be more than that, because 7 inches is like, that's not even the width of your whole body.
I know, but if you are standing in front of a door and then you teleport 7 inches away, you could teleport inside.
You'll be inside the door.
Not necessarily. You get right up to that fucker?
This is a ruler. This is 7 inches. That's like, that's like my head might not even make through that.
Damn. Yeah. I thought that was such a good point.
Yeah, no, I think the person might be overestimating or underestimating their size. I mean, I guess that like children could.
Children could.
Or
so I guess
like
that makes me.
Human.
I mean, the 7 inches thing, I think it could still be useful. You could just teleport 7 inches a bunch of times.
Well, this is my thought. I was thinking about all the times that I have like wanted to be able to reach a thing that was slightly out of reach and I didn't want to get up.
There is that.
Like, oh, where's the remote? Oh, it's over there. I can't reach it. Teleport there and back.
It's not without its uses. Someone else also, I think this might have been in the comments, said something about how they would choose free gravel for life because then they could start a business and sell the gravel to like landscapers.
Yeah, I suppose. To me, that's not fun.
It's not necessarily fun, but I think if you're presented with these options, that's a pretty smart choice.
Can we like take these one at a time? Because I have
sure, why not? What do we think would happen?
Well, like, so the first one, can communicate with oysters. I think that would just make me feel bad about eating oysters.
I don't eat oysters, so I feel pretty neutral about that one. Let's put it that way.
But maybe they can tell us about their adventures. what it's like
Maybe they
underwater?
could. I would like to know some things about what it's like under the sea.
I want to know if they have names for each other. How do they communicate with each other? So that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, it would be a good learning opportunity.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to grow a second nose, though.
Yeah, no, I can't see any reason for that.
No
Like,
purpose
I can't
whatsoever.
imagine a single benefit. Yeah. So, no thanks for that. Looking 10 hours younger,
Sure, why not?
completely pointless.
Totally pointless, but also it doesn't really matter if you do or don't. So take it, I guess.
Yeah. And I would also point out number 8, speak the extinct language. Khitan?
Khitan? Khitan? I don't know.
However you say it.
You could
That,
become quite the scholar.
yeah, but you can't really talk to anybody with it.
Yeah.
And maybe you could do some really obscure research that nobody ever reads, but but I did actually think about the number 7 can instantly see inside any empty container.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes you might want to like get something out of a container and you don't know that it's empty, so you would know in advance.
I guess it's not. Yeah, I guess it's not totally useless.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was the
I don't
best
know.
I got.
That's all I got for you. So I
And
think,
the only other one is running as fast as Albert Einstein.
which I'm gonna bet he wasn't all that fast.
I wouldn't think so. He was a nerd.
Yeah.
But then again, I'm a nerd. Oh no, I'm not fast. I run, but I'm not fast. So never mind.
Never mind. I think with my teleport 7 inches away thing not working out the way I wanted it to in my head, I think I would go with the free gravel for life and then just again sell the gravel to landscapers.
Yeah, I'm still for funsies gonna go with the toaster.
I like that for you.
Yeah.
Anyone who's watching, let us know what your choices would be. We'd love to hear.
But no, I changed my mind again. I'm going with the teleportation because I think that would come in handy more often. Because I'm lazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, final answer.
Locking it in. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Very important.
So the second thing, the next thing I have is the second thing I have stolen from Twitter today, which is this. This is a tweet from @meme chaotic, and it is an image which reads, "Being naked while wearing shoes feels more naked than just being naked." And why is this true? Is the question that I have. 'Cause like, yeah.
I think it's because it like sort of calls attention to the fact
It draws attention to the fact that you don't have any clothes on.
Yeah. Well, but are we talking about being in front of another person or just being by yourself? Because I feel like those are two different things.
I mean, we can talk about either. We can talk about both. No one said we can't.
Because I feel like even when you're by yourself, the fact that you're wearing these things on your feet that you only ever wear with clothing makes it feel that much more apparent that you're not wearing clothing.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas we're typically nude at some point every day, right? When we shower or whatnot. So I think it's largely just because it's a different weird experience. And
I actually think there has been a time in my life when I was wearing shoes and nothing else. I wore flip-flops in the banya in Russia.
Well, and that's what I was going to say. Shower shoes are a thing. Like if you go to gyms or if you live in a dorm.
And I don't
but it's different.
have any memories of that experience being particularly weird, but I also think it's because everyone else was also naked.
I think I think the distinction here is like when I'm imagining naked with shoes on, I'm imagining like socks and shoes.
Like which is like that's super weird. Yeah, that's very different
Because like
than
I
like
don't think
flip-flops in the shower.
I don't think like flip flops or
Oh yeah,
slides or
and when
anything
I
like
was
that
in
would feel that weird.
college, shower flip-flops.
Yeah,
So this is not an experience I've never had.
yeah, but I don't think flip flops and slides and things like that count.
Okay, I see your argument.
Because yeah, I think here like when we're talking about like wearing shoes, I imagine like a thing you would normally just kind of wear out on a daily basis, but just the shoes and socks. Like imagine
Before
wearing
I
your
g-
work shoes and socks.
Before I go to bed tonight, and before I put on my pajamas, I'm gonna put on like sneakers and just see what that feels like. And
Just imagining it feels weird.
it's probably gonna feel really weird, but I think I'm gonna do it anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, because I know there have been plenty of times in my life when I've like showered with shoes on, going to the gym or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like so that's pretty common. That doesn't feel weird to me. I just did it like the one of the Ragnars I went to, one of the last ones I went to, so it's
Mm-hmm.
pretty common. But I think the
Yeah,
distinction here is
I
socks
feel
and
like I
shoes.
would feel so much more like even if I was just like by myself, no one can see me. I would feel so much more exposed wearing shoes than having
Yep.
nothing on at all. Cuz like I'll admit that I walk around my apartment naked sometimes after I get out of the shower,
Mm-hmm.
and that doesn't feel weird at all.
Hmm.
But I feel like if I were
Yeah.
to do that but have shoes on, just walk around my own apartment, nobody looking at me, I would feel very exposed.
I do that with my slides that I wear around the house. But that doesn't feel weird because I wear them at all times when I'm home.
This is also very true.
I'm thinking like, what is the difference? Like, is it a shoe that's enclosed, like a sneaker rather than a sandal? Does it have to do with the socks? Like,
Maybe
where
it
is
does have
that
to do with
line?
socks.
I think it does because I was imagining this. So, like, I have a pair of Crocs sneakers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do the clogs. I hate the clogs. I don't care how popular they are and how much people like them. I hate them. But
Okay, I didn't know you had some beef with Crocs.
I don't know. They just bother me. I don't know why.
Okay.
There's no rationality. I can't give you even a guess as to a reason.
Sure, why not?
I have these sneakers. They're made out of like that same material, and they're like they got a bunch of little holes on them, so they're breathable. You're not supposed to wear socks with them, so they're kind of like, they're really comfy. Like I imagine the clogs probably are, but they're fully enclosed. So they're good for if you got to be a little more active and you want a sneaker. I don't know if wearing those while naked would feel that weird.
Explain.
But if I were wearing sneakers with socks, it would feel much weirder.
I think it really is all in the sock.
I think it is the sock. Like, now I need to, I feel like I need to test all these things.
I'm gonna have a weird time before I put my pajamas on tonight, and that's okay.
Like, I'm gonna put on my Croc sneakers so I can experience it without socks, and then put on socks in another sneakers.
We'll have to report back next episode.
Back. Just,
all right, I like
just
it.
hanging out. Yeah.
Just see what that feels like.
And then I start imagining other kinds of shoes because, like, high heels, like pumps.
Okay, here's the thing. I don't think that would feel as weird because I think I would kind of feel like I had it going on.
Yeah.
Because
no, I think it is
you get a nice lift if you put some stilettos on.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So like I don't think
that
I don't think would feel weird.
No, I think people probably do that intentionally all the time.
Yeah, I can definitely see many circumstances where that happens. Ultimate weird choice. Bowling shoe. Cursed. Cursed, cursed, cursed. Put that sentence back in your mouth.
Clown shoes?
Bad. Even worse.
Just completely nude, but these giant ass shoes.
Oh,
I hate it as well.
Yeah, I don't like that at
It was
all.
in my head, so you needed to suffer as well.
Understandable. Have a nice day. All right, do we have anything else to say about that?
You know I can talk about anything forever, so.
Do you want to, is my question. I'm handing you the floor to use if you would like.
I will just keep supposing shoes and scenarios in which you are nude, like
Well, now I
endlessly.
want to
if you
see
let
what
me.
immediately springs to your mind next, so.
Well, because we've pretty much just been talking about being alone.
Okay. If I had to be in front of other humans in any capacity whatsoever, I think wearing only shoes, I think I would want it to be heels because at least there's probably context for that.
It probably makes you look better than, like boots or.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if things changed when you're being perceived.
Again, I
Like,
think I feel more exposed where if I'm being perceived, I feel more exposed wearing shoes than just having nothing at all.
yeah. But like weirdly, I feel like if I were being perceived, I would feel better wearing sneakers than like flip-flops or slides, and I don't know why.
Fascinating. I don't know why either. I
More
don't think the
secure,
type
maybe.
I don't think the type of shoe really makes all that much of a difference. But again, because I have been around other people with no clothes on but wearing flip-flops. Like that has been a
Yeah.
thing that has happened in my life and it wasn't that weird.
Well, no, I mean, it's a pretty typical thing, especially at the gym. Women just walk around entirely nude all the time, and that's just kind of.
It's just how it be.
Yep.
But I think if it has to happen, I want it to be some very sexy stilettos.
Fair.
That's what I would
What about just
want it to
socks?
be.
What about just socks? I'm trying to decide if it's better or worse or neither.
I feel oddly neutral about that.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Which is weird because we're like, oh yeah, it's the socks that do it.
It is the socks. But when you leave, but when it's just the socks, somehow it changes.
Yeah. So you have to, it's not just the socks, it's both of them. You have to have them.
It's the combination of socks and shoes.
Yeah. Just the shoes, not that big of a deal. Just the socks, whatever. You put them together, now it's weird.
Okay. At least we've worked that out, if nothing else.
Oh, I can analyze anything to death.
I love it. That's a skill, is what that is.
That's why I do what I do for a living. I can just say things endlessly.
God.
Not because I like to hear myself talk. I certainly don't. But I do have the gift of bullshitting.
Okay. So this is something that we came up with last episode, but we didn't actually get to. I want to talk about what constitutes a Sunday. Sunday spelled Sundae.
Why is it spelled that way?
To differentiate it from the day of the week.
Is that like a thing you know, or you're just guessing?
I'm assuming. I pulled that completely out of my ass. If I'm being totally honest with you, but that's my guess.
Oh, you're partially right.
I love being partially right.
Oh, okay. There are conflicting.
Ooh.
Well, it seems the dominant one is there was the guy who essentially invented it, named it the Sonntag after himself, and since Sonntag is the German word for Sunday, the name was translated to Sunday and later was spelled Sunday. But it also says that it was changed to avoid religious controversy.
Religious controversy. Okay.
Because, Sunday.
Sure.
Christian, it's an important day for the Christians.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's, wow. I'm learning so much. I can't help it. I love learning things.
Hey,
Apparently
we love to learn on this podcast.
Apparently some states used to have a law that made it illegal to sell soda on Sundays. And that was a big problem for anyone who
What are
enjoyed
we,
ice cream
Mormon?
floats. Yeah, so like that's why like ice cream floats you couldn't have those on Sundays. So the pharmacies that sold ice cream floats on Sundays would replace the soda with chocolate sauce.
Okay, sure. I mean, that's a creative way of getting around the problem.
Yeah. So as for the name, so to make it more obvious, you could buy it any day of the week, not just on Sundays, or so it would be less offensive to devout people.
All right.
I don't know. Wow, I just went on a whole sidetrack there. I got excited about learning.
But the question is, what
Yes.
constitutes a Sunday?
Yeah, we got into this during the condiment discussion.
Yes.
Because we were sorry. We were talking about like chocolate sauce and stuff like that.
Yes. Which is a necessity. Like that is, I feel, a necessity. You obviously have to have ice cream. You have to have chocolate sauce.
Mm-hmm.
This doesn't like. But what else? What else is absolutely necessary to make it a Sunday?
I honestly think those are the only two things that are absolutely necessary.
All right, then what's your ideal?
I like a caramel sauce, personally. That's my go-to. A little cherry on top, I think, is important. Maybe sprinkles.
Okay, I'm liking this comment that we've got here. Ice cream and at least one syrup or sauce, nuts, sprinkles, and whipped cream are optional. I feel like the whipped cream isn't optional though.
I don't need it. There's ice cream. Why do you need whipped cream?
I mean, I don't know, makes it extra special.
I don't care for it. I don't really like nuts on my Sundays
either.
I
do.
See, I love this shit out of nuts. Like I eat so many. Like I walk around campus with a jar of almonds because I don't have time to eat lunch and I'm just like, eating handfuls of almonds. I eat a lot of nuts.
Love that for you.
I do not like them in my dessert items. To me, they are a separate thing. I don't like that flavor profile, like with the sweet.
No, I love me some chopped nuts on a Sunday.
Yeah, no. So this is not me disliking nuts. Again, I have said repeatedly and awkwardly how much I love nuts. But it's a matter of
someone clip that. I also and like maybe this is just me, but I feel like sprinkles are a necessity. Again, maybe this is just me, like I want it to be extra fancy, extra special, but I feel like that kind of makes or breaks it for me.
Yeah, I mean, I could go sprinkles. The thing is, a lot of time I feel like they just taste so artificial that it ruins the taste.
Oh, I don't have that problem.
Yeah. But honestly, just caramel sauce on like a French vanilla ice cream and I'm happy.
That's my thing though. I feel like ice cream with just a sauce of some sort, be that chocolate syrup, caramel sauce, or that strawberry syrup, that doesn't scream sundae to me. It needs more than that.
If you go to Dairy Queen and get a sundae, it is just sauce on ice cream.
I don't like that. I feel like it has to be more. And maybe that's just me like feeling the need to be a fancy bitch.
Yeah, I mean, you can go fancy, but you don't have to.
So then I guess my default is to go fancy.
Okay. I've had a wild ride looking things up related to Sundays.
Do tell.
Because I tried to just Google Sunday, just like, basic definition or whatever. Mm-hmm. For some reason, Google decided to autofill Sunday Korean. And I have now learned that sundae, with the exact same spelling, is a Korean blood sausage made by stuffing pig or cow intestines with a mixture of blood, glass noodles, vegetables, and spices.
I can't say that I wouldn't try it.
I mean, the picture, it looks like they shish kebab it,
Mm.
skewer and grill, but it's intestines and blood. No thanks.
Whatever, man.
Yeah, I'm not good on that. But then I tried to like redo it and search sundae again, and I specifically backspace when it put in the Korean, and it somehow did it again. So I don't. It really wants me.
The podcast ghost has infected your phone.
Yeah, it's weird. An ice cream frozen dessert of American origin that typically consists of one or more scoops of ice cream topped with a sweet sauce or syrup and other toppings, such as sprinkles, whipped cream, marshmallows, chocolate chips, M&Ms, peanuts, cookies, chocolate brownies.
Oh yeah, you
maraschino
can get
cherries,
real
or
fucking
other
creative
fruits.
with it.
Yeah, so
Okay, I feel like it has to
caramel
be.
sauce and marshmallows.
I feel like it has to be ice cream, sauce, and one topping. That's a sundae.
Can that one topping be a single maraschino cherry?
Sure, go for it.
Yeah, I mean, I think the technical definition is just always going to be sauce on ice cream, essentially. But we made this argument about something before, and I can't remember what it was. Like that is the technical thing, but it doesn't feel like the thing. So like
That
that's what
sounds
it
familiar,
is.
but I have no idea
Yeah,
what we were talking
I
about.
I remember making this exact argument about something else. Like I think that like the bare minimum for a sundae is just those two things, but it doesn't feel like it is.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a difference.
I like that. This comment has me thinking just in general. Here's a question. Where do you draw the line of just shit you won't eat? What's the like how weird does it have to get before you're like absolutely not?
I can't say that I'm jazzed about eating parts of animals or eating from any animal that I have not consumed before.
Mm-hmm.
Largely because I wish that I could be vegetarian. I do not have the willpower. And so I don't want to branch out into new kinds of meats and then like those and feel worse somehow.
Okay, interesting. I don't feel bad about my meat consumption. Maybe I should, but I don't. I also don't eat meat like all that much. It's kind of just a thing I do occasionally and definitely enjoy when I do.
Mm-hmm.
I draw the line at bugs.
I wouldn't mind it if they were like mixed in something. I don't want to feel the texture.
That
Like you grind them up. They do grind them up for protein powder.
Okay, you know what? That's fine. But if like the bug is the dish,
yeah,
there I have a little bit of a problem.
Yeah, no, that's to feel like the little legs and like thorax and no, thank you.
That I don't think I would like it. That and maybe it would taste good, but it's a texture thing for me, man.
Oh yes, definitely agree, Chris. Testicles or any kind of genital are also out.
Yeah, I do kind of draw the line there.
I can't imagine that those would be
good,
enjoyable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or eyeballs.
I don't think I would eat an eyeball.
No.
I don't know if I could eat a brain either.
Monkey's brains, though popular in Cantonese
cuisine, are not often to be found in Washington, D.C.
That's a Clue reference.
Fucking love that movie. But
Every
I don't
time I think
know.
about eating brains, that's what I think of.
Yeah, I don't know if I would eat brains.
Here's the thing. And I'm maybe slightly revising even what I said before. If I were like at a function and they were serving like fancy food or whatever, and then somebody put a plate in front of me and they were like, "This is brains," I'd be like, "Okay," and I would eat it. But I think that's true for literally nearly anything.
Yeah, actually, you make an excellent point. If someone's giving me
Like,
something in like a fucking Michelin star setting,
yeah,
I'll at least try it.
yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I think I might not be able to do the eyeball still because I think I would probably just like my stomach would turn and I would risk throwing up just the thought of it.
Yeah.
Because like there's like jelly in the eyes or something, right? I don't know what's in there.
Yeah. Yeah, that might be a bridge too far for me as well.
Yeah. But other than that, I can't think of anything I wouldn't at least try. But I'm not gonna like try to find them.
That's fair.
There used to be a Belgian bar here in Rochester. They closed years ago. It was called Victoire. And every Wednesday they had a wild game night where it was like a different.
You told me about this.
Yeah. And it was every single week. It was just something you would normally never come across.
That's wild.
Like buffalo or snake or various animals.
Actually, I don't think I could ever eat snake because
the babies.
My baby's
a
snake.
Yep.
I would try that. Alligator.
They had that at Victoire once when I was there.
Huh. That's kind of fun.
What I think is interesting too is if you go down south, there are a lot of things at like barbecue buffets and stuff like that you would come across that you would never usually see other places.
Mm-hmm.
Like, pig's feet and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I definitely tried some weird things at those places.
I will say the United States, like people always people on the internet like to shit on the United States for being cultureless, but we really do have some eclectic food choices when you get
we sure do.
When you get down into it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Do we have anything else to say about that or any of the other subjects we've talked about tonight?
No, I would like to say just a brief thing since we brought up snakes about Ripley.
Ripley, how is she? I need more regular Ripley updates in my life.
She is a terrible shedder. She is a petty
fun.
baby.
So you're experiencing what I've been experiencing with Ellie for years now.
Yep. So I had to give her another spa day over the weekend.
Cute.
And she's still real tiny.
Ellie's big enough that I have to fill up the actual bathtub for her now.
I know. I was there before. Remember, I had to keep pushing her back in.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I had to physically hold Ripley under the water because part of her body kept popping up and wasn't getting soaked.
Aww.
But she had it all along her belly, and the piece on her head was still totally there, totally intact. And I'm like, well, crap, I can't hold her head underwater. So I just I would dunk her head on occasion or drip water on it, and then be trying to rub it off to get it off her head. I think I discovered she likes chin scratches. Is that a thing?
Well, I'm definitely gonna say yes. Because,
first of all, if she were ever going to bite me, it would have been on this day. Because, her head is tiny. It's smaller than my pinky fingernail.
Aww, baby.
Yeah, and it was really hard to not crush her head while I was rubbing trying to get the shed off. But I was rubbing it over top of her eyes and along her mouth.
What a good girl.
Yeah, and she was just like, Mom, stop, that kind of attitude. But the very last little piece was stuck under her chin. And I'm stay still. She's just wiggling everywhere. And so I'm trying to rub it off of her chin. And as soon as I start doing that, she stops moving.
Fascinating.
And I just keep going, and she's just perfectly still. And then I stop, and she starts wiggling again.
That's so cute.
Yeah, and so I tested it even when she was done. I hung out with her for a bit, and then before I put her back in, I did it again, and she just stopped. I think she likes chin scratches. I don't know if that's a normal thing.
That's so cute.
Yeah, I thought that was freaking adorable. She is so cute. It absolutely kills me.
I cannot wait to come see her at some point.
Yeah, she's such an idiot, and I love her.
Amazing. Aren't they all?
Yeah. No, absolutely all of them. And I love all of them.
All right, would we like to begin the meditation?
I'm already prepared, apparently.
Hell yes, Chris.
You are without doubt the worst pirate I've ever heard of.
Listen, cue ball, you're only making it worse.
Thanks, that even makes it worse.
It's worse than you know.
It usually is.
I think that's the worst thing I've ever heard.
That's the worst goodbye I've ever heard. And you stole it from a movie.
How marvelous.
What have you got for me, Bestie? How are you worse this week?
Oh, I mean, I'll throw out the standard video games and anime.
As one does.
Continuing to play lots of Skyrim, and I'm almost at episode 500 of One Piece now.
Shit, dog.
Yeah, it emotionally devastated me earlier today, so I'm very upset at it.
Understandable.
But it's con prep time.
Exciting.
And I made like a whole bunch of little turtle sandboxes.
Yay!
I got a bunch of them just staring at me on my desk. But I had said last week, in my worsening, that I got this laminator. Right? And I was trying to find something else to use the laminator for besides just, laminating a few things for the table. So I got it in my head that I'm going to make bookmarks. Right?
I have been on the receiving end of some of this.
Yes, I've been sending you things. So this started like last Thursday. I was sitting in class, and so this was the first one I designed. I sent you this one that says the horrors persist, but so do I.
Which is a wonderful message.
Yes, I was very fond of it. And then I continued on with the Mu Deng bookmark that says, be
Wonderful.
the violence you want to see in the world. Right, that's nice. I also did if anyone has any experience with anything or knows anything about something, please let me know. And then, I believe it was Friday, a thought occurred to me. Worm on a string.
Worm on a string.
And I went a little nuts. How many did I make?
You made a lot.
I have them all here in front of me.
You made a lot.
11 different worm on a string bookmarks.
I love it.
Yeah, starting with those are some nice kneecaps. It'd be a shame if someone stole them. Come morning, your kneecaps will be mine. Do not be afraid, I am your god now. I pray for your downfall. For some reason, it always gets me.
I love it.
Crime won't get your kidney back.
It will not.
Eat the government. Gotta eat the rich. This one very long. One day you'll be face to face with whatever saw fit to let you exist in the universe, and you will have to justify the space you have filled.
These are all nice, fantastic.
The man behind the slaughter. We got this man ate my son. And finally, I'm going to slurp your ligaments like spaghetti. And,
amazing.
So right before we recorded, I was, making the bookmarks. I still have some to cut out and laminate. And I suddenly, out of nowhere, got the dumbest or maybe most brilliant idea.
Which is?
For these. So I currently have, again, 11 different string bookmarks. And you know how a lot of bookmarks have like little tassels?
Mm-hmm. What if the tassel was a worm on a string? Oh my god. I love that so much.
Right?
That's genius.
Literally at 5 or 10 till 7, I was sitting there just feeding these through the laminator, and I was like,
wait a minute.
I
am obsessed with that.
Right? That'll be freaking incredible, because then you put it in your book and then you just have a worm
on a string.
I think this might be one of the best ideas I've ever had in my life.
That's got to be up there. I would think
I'm
it is.
glad I had a worm on a string handy for visual purposes. I wanted there to be mini versions of them, though. I don't think
that would have been great.
yeah, and I try to think, I was like, is there an easy way to make my own mini versions? And I'm not going that route. Might have to be the full size ones, but like incredible, right?
That's so funny. That's so
Yeah.
funny.
And I don't know if I'm done making designs yet, but I've had a blast because I have Canva Pro right now. Accidentally, I forgot to cancel after my free trial. So I also made a Mothman, Live, Laugh, Lurk,
Wonderful.
and The Mother I Crave Violence,
Beautiful.
which are, fantastic. So I have non-worm on a string ones, but I have more than twice worm on a string than I have not worm on a string. So I don't know if there will be more designs or not, but I definitely had fun with those. I was also playing around today making a nice permanent feel free to fondle the good sign.
Very nice.
And with that, I also made some new price signs that I haven't cut out yet. So yeah,
You've been given power and you are using it.
Yeah, I am so much worse. I am unbearable in designing things and printing things, laminating things, and sending people constant pictures of these
Hey,
things.
I think it's awesome.
Which I had told you this. It was just earlier today, yesterday. I don't remember. No, one of those days. But I brought a bunch of them to a friend of mine on Monday because I thought she might like, one or two of them or whatever, and I let her pick from them. And she had never seen a worm on a string meme.
Oh, wow.
And
that's an introduction.
Yeah, right? Like, imagine never having seen a worm on a string meme. And then she, just the look on her face as she's going through, crying won't get your kidney back.
I can imagine. I can picture this pretty well.
Come morning, your kneecaps will be mine. I was like, it's a thing. They take your kneecaps. She's just looking at me like I'm deranged. But I definitely knew when she got to the long one because it took a while to read, and then she just looked at me and kept going. It's like, yeah, I guess be prepared for that at Saratoga Comic-Con because they're going to be there for sale. And I'm sure there will be at least some people who look at them who are not familiar with worm on a string memes.
Yeah, it'll probably happen. And it'll be enjoyable to watch when it does.
Yeah. I am so proud of myself for the very simple idea of putting a worm on a string on these, but
as you should be. It is
so
genius.
But yeah, I would say that's the major thing. That's what I've been doing with nearly all of my non-existent free time this week.
I like it.
Yeah. You?
Girl, the tour.
Oh, yes.
Oh my god, the Ghost tour started and I am going so insane every night. It's like the shows are phone free. Like you have to put your phones in those yonder pouches, which I think is awesome. But I'm literally waiting for reports back from the front lines like a fucking World War II general. Oh, my group chats are going insane. If anyone from the chats is watching right now, hi guys, thanks for tuning in. You rock. But yeah, just girl, the tour. I'm going so nuts. There's new fucking merch. There's another fucked up Ghost plushie that I get to add to my collection. There's new booty shorts.
Yes, you have sent me more than one text in all capital letters.
Yep. So that's a huge way that I'm worse. Another way that I'm worse, I started another Ghost fan fiction with my RP partner. Again, if you're watching, you know who you are. You rock. So Ghost continues to consume my every fucking waking thought. Rocking the Opus Eponymous sweater tonight. Oh, it's bad, girl. It's real bad. And it's only gonna get worse. I'm so sorry, but I'm also kind of not.
But you have months until your first show, right?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So have fun dealing with this. So that's a massive way that I'm worse. That is that is just going to grow exponentially. And I'm getting into the swing of Fallout New Vegas.
Okay.
I can see this becoming a problem.
I have seen the tattle box on you a few times.
Yes,
Without
shout
making
out to
comment.
Steam for snitching.
Yeah, I I saw it because like I'll still be sitting here doing work and it'll pop up and I'm like, oh, I want to play video games.
So sorry.
But then I just keep working and I don't even like take the time to send you the I can see you bitch meme because I know that it'll just make me want to play more. I just have to keep going, trudging.
My deepest condolences.
So, but I've seen you on there. I try to play
But those are
Skyrim like at least once a day.
the two main ways that I'm worse, I would say.
Nice. No cosplay related things?
Everything I have is ready.
Oh, okay, nice.
Or like, I mean, I have to do a little bit of modification to the shoulder armor I have for Vessel, but I don't think that's going to be too difficult. So like, I'm pretty much set, which is a weird feeling,
Yeah. Nice.
but it's a good weird feeling. But I am starting to get very, very hyped for Saratoga Comic-Con, so like that's definitely kind of a way that I'm worse.
Yeah, I am like legit worse right now because like I have so many things I'm supposed to be doing, like, you know, preparing for the film festival. It's a week from today and stuff like that. But no, I choose to keep making bookmarks and printing things on the 3D printer and, you know, doing that stuff. Oh man, I almost forgot another thing. Good thing it was sitting here looking me in the face. I got a label maker.
Oh, fun!
I can't quit labeling shit.
Understandable. Another small way that I'm worse, fucking new Ghost album in 9 days.
Oh. Wow, that's soon.
Yeah, that's real fucking soon. So, yay.
Nice. That'll be the week before Saratoga.
Yep. So, be prepared to fucking listen to that. You don't get a choice.
This is why Spotify makes blends. You'll have had a whole week to listen to it.
I think that's it.
I mean, it's kind of a good segue point because we keep talking about Saratoga. So
We do keep talking about Saratoga Comic-Con. That is the next big thing we've got coming up. We will be there May 3rd and 4th. We're going to be hanging out at the table. We're going to be doing our 18 plus trivia panel on Saturday night. Brooks and I are doing our Battle of the Movies panel, which we got to strategize for that.
Yep.
And yes, if you want to get some money off on some sick ass mead, go to thebullandbee.com and use the code monstermead for $5 off your online order. We love the Bull and Bee. I cannot wait to do an event there again. It's been too long. And then
Christmas, yeah.
After Saratoga, we will be at Mid-Hudson Comic-Con in Poughkeepsie, but that's not until August.
Yep.
So those are things we got coming up. As far as on the network, we had new episode of Regrettable Reviews is up now for your viewing pleasure, featuring Dr. Brooks.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got stream returning tomorrow. We're going to be talking about Vinland Saga again. Defend Friday? Yes, no? No Defend Friday. Okay, so no Defenestration Hour on Friday next week. And then there's gonna be a bit of a break with Regrettable Reviews just because Art has Big Boy Firefighter training. We're figuring out exactly what date we're going to be doing Evolution, but Brooks is going to be guessing for that as well. So something to look forward to after a short break. And I think that's really all we've got going on at the network for the moment. Big thing is Saratoga. It's going to be a total blast. If you are in the area, do not miss it.
Yeah. And come for the bookmarks.
Come for the bookmarks.
Because I don't know what I'm going to do with them.
All right. As always, thank you for fighting with us, friends. We appreciate each and every single one of you, and we will be back again next week. We'll see you then. Adios, everybody.
This week's episode of the Fighting with Friends podcast was hosted by Bridget Kelly and Dr. Sarah Brooks. You can find other episodes of the podcast on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, or your other favorite listening platform. Catch us live on Twitch every Wednesday and Thursday. You can subscribe to our Twitch channels to watch our live broadcasts without ads, or donate to our Patreon for ad-free access to our entire library of past episodes and streams, as well as fun bonus content. Fighting with Friends is a member of the Big Dumb Monsters Podcast Network. Check out the links in the description for more episodes from us and from all of the shows on the network. Thanks for listening.